A mother accused of beating her baby boy to death appeared in court today.
A mother is facing a capital murder charge for the death of her baby.
A mother charged with the murder of her child went before a Limestone County judge today.
A Limestone County woman charged with capital murder after the death of her child back in court today.
Morgan Thornton has been charged with capital murder in connection with the death of her infant son, Jonah, in Limestone County, Alabama. The tragic case centers on the death of the infant who sustained severe injuries that ultimately proved fatal. The incident occurred in the early morning hours of August 1, 2025, just after 12:30 a.m. on Friday morning in the 15,000 block of Estate Drive in Athens, Alabama. Following the infant's death from the severe injuries, authorities conducted an investigation that led to the capital murder charges being filed against Thornton. Capital murder charges represent the most serious level of homicide charges under Alabama law, typically reserved for cases involving particularly heinous circumstances or specific categories of victims, including children. The case highlights the tragic nature of crimes involving infant victims and the severe legal consequences that can result from such incidents. WEFF 48 News Huntsville went all in, uncovering hidden facts and exposing what others missed. The coverage our community demands.
Thornton is accused of killing her infant child. Deputies say they were called to Thornton's home in Athens early Friday, where they found an unresponsive infant who had been severely beaten. Investigators also say Thornton appeared intoxicated. Deputies say their investigation led them to believe that Thornton caused the child's injuries, and that's what led to her capital murder charges.
Corrupt Roots puts you front row to the darkest corners of justice, where heinous cases and shocking crimes explode, inside the courtroom and on the streets. From celebrity justice to raw legal drama, we deliver unfiltered news, vivid court footage, and chaos unleashed. Now, back to the exposé. Deputies found an unresponsive infant who had been severely beaten and showed no signs of life. Emergency responders were able to restore a pulse, and the infant was initially transported to UAB trauma services, but experienced cardiac arrest en route. Emergency crews then diverted to the closest hospital, Coleman Regional, where the infant ultimately passed away. Through an investigation, authorities were able to determine that the child's mother, Morgan Skye Thornton, was responsible for the injuries. Investigators obtained and executed search warrants for the home and a blood sample from Thornton, because deputies said she looked intoxicated at the time. At the time, she was charged with aggravated child abuse, but after the infant's death, Thornton's charges were upgraded to capital murder. Morgan Skye Thornton, 35, was charged with capital murder on Friday and remains in the Limestone County Jail without bond. During her initial court appearance, Thornton was led into Limestone County District Judge Gray West's courtroom visibly distraught and in tears. According to media interviews, Thornton has expressed confusion about the events. Morgan Thornton told 48 News on Friday she didn't remember what happened. In a more detailed statement, she said, "I put my son to bed. I swaddled him and put him to bed at 7 o'clock, and then something happened. And when asked if she remembered anything after that, she responded, tried to give him CPR. That's all." Morgan Thornton has an extensive criminal record spanning multiple years and involving various types of offenses. Most recently, she pleaded guilty to second-degree assault earlier in August 2025, following an incident in June where she kicked a police officer in the groin area. The June incident also resulted in additional serious charges, including driving under the influence while her child was in the vehicle, creating a substantial risk of injury to the minor. During the same time frame, she faced domestic violence and disorderly conduct charges after allegedly striking a man in the head and engaging in disruptive behavior involving profanity in a residential neighborhood. Her criminal history extends back several years, including a 2019 conviction for public intoxication to which she pleaded guilty. This pattern of behavior demonstrates a history of violence against law enforcement, endangering her child, domestic violence, and alcohol-related offenses that preceded the current capital murder charges in connection with her infant son's death. The defendant's documented legal troubles suggest an escalating pattern of criminal behavior culminating in the most serious charges now pending against her. Ellen Weatherford from the Limestone County Children's Advocacy Center provided context on such cases. They often reflect extreme circumstances, such as untreated mental illness, trauma, or even a crisis situation. This is not something we see often, but when it does happen, it deeply unsettles the entire community. The case has significantly affected the local community, with Sheriff Joshua McLaughlin issuing a statement asking for prayers for this family, and everyone who responded to this heartbreaking scene, while praising the efforts of first responders who did absolutely everything in their power to save this innocent child. Her hearing was originally scheduled for that morning, but appears to have been postponed. Thornton was assigned 2 attorneys to defend her in this capital murder case. This case represents a tragic incident involving the death of an infant and raises important questions about domestic violence, substance abuse, and child protection. And that's a wrap, but darkness runs deep. Subscribe, hit the bell, and stay sharp because no one and nothing is immune to corrupt roots.